everybody, you got to get in right now. You got to get it in your head online.com. It's the Jim Mintena website, baby. You don't want to miss it. We've only got a few left. Pick up the phones right now and dial.
Are you surprised that like Black Machismo took off like so big and is still around?
No, because I mean, you know, what his whole thing was, you know, anybody that watched him, and I actually watched him. I was on an indie show with him. I don't think I worked. I think I just signed autographs and like did a promo. But I watched him work that night. It was somewhere up in maybe Connecticut or someplace. He worked for one of the indie guys up there. I forget what the guy's name is, and I feel bad because the guy really ran like a first-rate operation up there. But I watched Jay work up there, and it was just like, you know, you just see it. There's those certain guys that just have that fluidness that got it, and it transpires from move to move, like the transitions. Like you see a guy that you see a lot of high spot guys, but they don't throw the good punch in between. They don't, you know, their work is choppy, and his work was very smooth. So I mean, I knew that, man, the guy he had the tools. And then when you sat down with him and had a conversation with him, he was incredibly personable. Somebody that you liked. Like when he walked away from you, you had that inner smile. And, you know, and when he started doing that, I said, would you do that on TV just as a rib? And he said, yeah. And we brought it, you know, to the creative's attention, and they kind of went with it. And he kind of goes in and out of it more now, but I just think it, you know, it differentiated him and gave him something to kind of to put him in the spotlight so he could be looked at in a little different light.
Yeah. And
you know, at that point now, I mean, once the spotlight was on him, then his talent spoke for itself, and he could, you know, pretty much do what he wanted to. But the minute, I mean, it's just one of those things. There's certain guys, the minute you see them, I'm sure that the first time that Ricky Steamboat got in the ring and somebody watched the way he moved, they knew this kid's something special.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I look at those early AWA things that they were playing for a while on ESPN of Shawn Michaels, and you see his early stuff. You know, like he's far. You know, he was so far advanced for that era of guys work wise. You know, so the good ones have it. I mean, you look at early Oz tapes. I mean, you can just see that's a diamond in the rough.
Exactly. I think Incher was going to ask about Oz.
Yeah. Casper from our...
He's like a giant Lou Thez. It's crazy.
Casper from our message board, he wants to know who came up with the Oz gimmick.
That would be Dusty Rhodes, and I think a handful of mushrooms.
I think what always topped it off was the monkey on the wizard's shoulder.
That was Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah.
That was classic. I'm surprised we didn't have some animal rights people handcuff us when that match was over.
Now, I believe there is like a Diesel classic figure out. Is there any chance of like an Oz or a Vinny Vegas classic action figure released?
I think the Oz one would be the most classic.
That would be pretty good stuff.
I think I looked up the Master Blaster Steel. I think he was around for like a week and a half before my tag team partner decided he didn't want to be a wrestler anymore.
I thought he became the dog.
No, that was Al Green wasn't the first. The first guy that was my partner in the Master Blasters was a guy named Corey Pendarvis, who Ox Baker trained in Iowa. You know what kills me is that people always say, like, I'll read like these bios on me, and they'll say he started as woman's bodyguard. It's like, that was Big Sky. That wasn't me. That was Taylor Maine. Like, that wasn't me. Like, God, like, get it. Somebody please get it right. Like, that wasn't me. He was found by Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes wasn't even in WCW when I came into WCW. Ole Anderson came down and found me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like all these lies. These people trying to claim that they found me. It's just bogus. It's just absolute bogus. So,
what are your thoughts of like the internet, like websites that report news and the dirt sheets?
It's like every piece of media. You sit at your hometown and you watch an incident happen in front of you. somebody gets gunned down, whatever it is, and you sit there and you eyewitness it, and then that night you watch it on the news, and it's completely contrived. There's a different story told than you saw, and the next day in the Orlando newspaper, there's another story told, and you realize it's like that old experiment they used to do in second grade when you tell a kid, and he tells a kid, and it goes all the way around the room, and then the last kid writes on the chalkboard what the story is, and it's nothing what was originally told, and that's basically what happens. There's so much hearsay, and because number one, none of the boys are supposed to talk to the dirt sheets, so they always do the old, you didn't hear this from me. Where can I hear it from, then? You're the one saying it. It's just one of those deals where, it is what it is. I mean, I guess you get enough of the truth, but sometimes, I kind of like it that it's so bogus. Like for years, they had me, he really was born in 1957. I'm thinking, really? Because my birth certificate says 59. It's just, well, I guess you'd know better than I would.
I have to ask this because there's a guy been in the chat room for the last hour. He's asked it about 50 times at least. He just wants to know what your thoughts on Jeff Jarrett as a boss. He's from Germany. Emos.
Jeff Jarrett's from Germany? I didn't know that.
Really?
He speaks incredible English. He actually has like a twang to it.
Yeah.
Must be from Bavaria, southern Germany.
The blonde hair and the blue eyes are kind of a...
Yeah, you're right. Very Aryan. Very Aryan. I never even thought of that.
That's the reverse. Usually they take a southern guy and make him into a Nazi in wrestling.
Right. This way here they took an actual Aryan.
Right.
They took somebody from Hitler's youth group and actually put him into a southern gimmick. I've got a lot more respect for him than I ever have. I had no idea how he pulled that off.
Excellent.
Think about Jeff that's really good is Jeff has really good temperament for it. Like Jeff really doesn't he doesn't sell and he doesn't get overstressed, but it's a hard. I think what people don't forget, I should rephrase it and say, I think what people forget about Jeff is he took a second mortgage out on his home and with his father started this company. Mm-hmm. So, people can say and do whatever they want to say about him, but the bottom line is there would be no TNA if there was no Jeff Jarrett. So is he the perfect boss? Is he the perfect booker? Is he the perfect worker? Once again, no, he's not. But does he ever go out there and not give 100%? No. Does he? He went out there and cut a promo the other night, which was a very lengthy promo that took a lot of preparation, and he had a lot of things going on that day as far as making sure that show went right, making sure he's in the truck. He wears a lot of hats. He did not let his performance suffer from that. Mm-hmm. And he's also raising 3 little girls on his own. Mm-hmm. So I look at it and I say, number one, we've been friends a long time, and he does a good job, and I commend. Is it perfect? No, but you know what? I had that same job, and somebody wrote a book saying I killed the business.
Right. So
mm-hmm. from the guy in the book depository. That took the 3 shots, I say he's doing a pretty good job. Right. I don't think Jeff's at the grassy knoll, so it's a very difficult job. It's not easy to do. Mm-hmm. Are there some things I would change if I had more of a voice? But you know, at the same time, Jeff will tell anybody that has a voice, you know what? If you have a better idea, sit down with me. Don't do it 2 minutes before the show. You guys get formats. We send you ideas. We send you emails. The time is when you get that thing on Friday and you read it over. Saturday, contact me. We'll talk it over and see if there's something we can do to make it better. But do not come to me Monday at 5:45 and say, I want to change this. Mm-hmm. And he's always been that way.